Welcome everybody to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. What's on the news today? Well, Sony Vice President of Engineering decided he may wanted to meet up with a 15-year-old boy. According to a news article, CNET, and I will do my best to pronunciate his name here, but it's not easy. George Casapopo, whatever. He was the vice president of engineering for Sony for 8 years, having worked on products for the PlayStation Store and such. He was busted by a YouTube group called People vs. Preds. Sony told CNET that they're aware of the situation and that the employee in question has been terminated from employment. This is a really interesting story because People vs. Preds told Kotaku that this video is posted online publicly rather than turned into police for an official investigation because the police department doesn't work with cyber groups like us. And that's when the internet takes over, blah, blah, blah. Now, I have problems with this story in several ways. First of all, if this is true, this guy should be chemically castrated in a very slow way. Personal opinion, of course. But let's get to Nick. Nick, we both read over this story, and we both, I think, have the same issues here. Go ahead and fire away with yours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not familiar with People versus Preds YouTube channel. There are some channels like that out there that kind of do this type of sting operation that, we were talking about it before. I can't remember the news guy that used to do those on like CNN or MSNBC or whatever. But if anyone's familiar with that, he used to buzz people and then he would talk to them about like why they wanted to meet,
Chris Hansen
was
the guy's name. And To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, there you go. To Catch a Predator. So these are like kind of like your amateur To Catch a Predator type people. And for Chris Hansen, for his stuff, it was really kind of meeting these people and having a civilized conversation about like why they feel this way and why they're doing this and like what's the kind of idea or in their heads, like what's going on there to make them want to do this, and kind of having that civilized kind of sit down conversation with the individual to kind of learn more, right? Not to put them out on blast, but just to kind of understand the way they're wired type of thing. And these guys, and there are some that are similar like that, they just immediately go to the individual that they're accusing, right? And in this case, it's an accusation because we don't know for sure 100% that this happened, or not that necessarily it happened because there's a video, but that this particular person, what's his name? Jeff, right? Yeah. Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Or George. His name's
George. Yeah.
That's right.
George Cappuccino.
Right. If any, like it's George Cappuccino. I'm not sure how you say his last name, but if he was actually, supposedly he was on Grindr talking to this 15-year-old boy, what were the conversations, right, between?
Yeah. So the way the video plays out that I found online doesn't give you any true context of what's happened. So did the conversation that took place really get pedophile-y? I mean, I don't know. I don't have enough info for that to make that.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be on Grindr talking to 15-year-old anything, right? Yeah. Or on anything talking to 15-year-olds about any sort of anything. But yeah, I mean, without having the conversation, or did that conversation actually happen? Things of that nature. I didn't see anything that said that, showing the conversation between the two or anything like that. Because in the past, certain things have come out showing the actual conversation between the two individuals and some of the other like amateur Catch a Predator type things. And this one, I haven't seen anything like that. It's just the video. But Sony has gone ahead and terminated the individual, so there might be some information there, or it could just be Sony saving their ass from any sort of lawsuit or any sort of legal stuff by just getting rid of them, not dealing with it, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right there. I mean, that's just the way of the world now. I mean, it's accusation. Well, shit, we got to cover ourselves, not worry about the actual accusation if it's true or not. And that's a really sick part of the world right now, because you could accuse anybody of anything and boom, ruin their life. It doesn't matter if there's any facts to it or not. It just happens. This group, I have a hard time understanding how I want to feel about them. It seems just the reaction in the video from the dude videoing, it's more of, hey, I'm trying to be YouTube famous. I want the clicks. I want the golden YouTube thing behind me, than it is about justice and protecting children. And I'm really bothered by that. Don't get me wrong. Catching one of these pedophiles, getting their name out there, their face out there, we need more of that. But we need it done for the right reasons, too. I don't feel that this is being done for the right reason. It's just my opinion, though. I don't have a problem with people catching pedophiles. Just make sure that it's truly what's happening and not you just trying to be famous and ruining people's lives. Like I said, if it's true this dude was trying to, PlayStation a 15-year-old boy, chemical castration his ass. I don't tolerate that, period. Just violate him with a 4-wheel drive truck. I don't give a shit. But the whole way this thing's kind of come about, I don't know. I have problems with lots of this story. I mean, it doesn't tell you anything, what was said, what was done. Was there truly a meet and greet? I mean, because the video, all I see is the dude standing out on his front little concrete sidewalk there. And then this dude is like, hey, who you trying to meet? And then the camera pans up. You see this guy, he's like, walking back into his house. And he's like, you want to talk? You want to talk? And he's like, no, and closes the door. I mean, if you took the subject line of that, you wouldn't have a damn clue what he's talking about until the end of the video. And he's, yelling, he's discussing pedophile or some shit. So I don't know. I think I think I definitely want to know more before I make a judgment. But I don't think that we're given enough context to what actually has happened. I mean, was the guy really doing it? What was in the messages? I mean, shit, I don't understand that. So, but anything to be internet famous anymore, that's a problem.
It is. And because in the video, he immediately goes off just yelling at this George individual, which, I mean, if you were anybody, even if this wasn't true, or if it was the wrong person or whatever the case may be, I mean, someone comes in and starts yelling, you're going to immediately shut the door, right? I mean, you're just going to be like, and back off. But I mean, it's weird that, especially because I believe it was George's house they went to. So it would be weird that if you're going to, I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't think, most of these people, when you see them, like when you've seen that, like To Catch a Predator and these other ones, usually the predator doesn't want to meet at their home. It's usually some other location. So it seems really strange to be at his house.
Yeah, exactly. That was like the weirdest part. The dude is literally in his own home. If you're going to do criminal shit, you don't typically want to do it at your own home, especially if you're doing that kind of criminal shit. It seemed really odd, like really, really odd. But, that's the problem with stories like this and this internet group, is they didn't give enough information. Before this thing went online, this thing should have went to the police straight up. I mean, that's bull crap. Not taking the police first. Give the police the opportunity to say, no, we're not going to work with you, instead of just making a full, the police don't want to work with us. That doesn't seem right. The police want to catch predators. They don't, that's the one group they don't mess with. Everybody else gets away free, but not predators. So it's really weird. And the whole, like you said, the whole meet at my house thing, get the hell out of here. Something just seems wrong with the story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't have enough information to really get the full, idea of everything. So right now it's just kind of like, in the air as far as, will anything happen from this? Will there be a police investigation into it? I don't know. I don't know if there's enough evidence there. They might start looking into this individual, and they may not. Nothing may happen from it. So it's hard to say. And maybe more information will come out later. But right now, that's pretty much all we got as far as what they've released.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like a big blasted story out there right now. So I think a lot of people are having the same reservations as us. Is there so many things that are wrong with the story that we don't want to put it out yet? We don't want to bring it up yet because there's a lot of information that's just missing. And with a story like this, you don't want missing information. That's why, we say this guy is alleged to have done it. But I think it's pretty peculiar, all the circumstances of the story. And I don't know if I should hope it's true or hope it's false. I hope it's true that, if this guy is a pedophile, he gets busted and, gets thrown into prison. But if it's fake, his life is ruined because of some internet scumbags. So, because that's not a stigma you can wash off. I mean, you just can't, because it'll always be in the back of somebody's head. And you don't, that's something you don't want people thinking about you. So,
right. Hopefully the police does an investigation into it and just looks into it and comes to a conclusion, whichever way that it goes. But you're exactly right. If it's all, falsified or whatever, that guy's life's ruined for, even being hired on with other places or just being out in the street, people recognize him from the video, and all of a sudden he's accused of, if the police were to find nothing, he could be accused of something that he didn't do. Right. But again, this is all speculation, and we have no idea. We're just guessing and assuming. So hopefully we'll know more information. Maybe they'll release more information, or maybe we'll be told that police are going to look into investigating this. And from there, we'll get more information into it. But right now, it's just all speculative. Except for he was fired from Sony. That one is true. So anything else you want to add to this, Shane?
No, because I don't do pedophiles. I think I would rather burn them. So I don't want to call this dude out until we know more facts. But I can tell you this much. Some of the comments on the video is freaking hilarious. And I know it's not a funny subject, but I have to read this one here from a guy named Sean. My man didn't want sack boy. He wanted boy sack. Now, there is wrong, and then there is wrong as hell.
Oh, man, the comment section.
You gotta love the comment section. So, Sean, that was messed up, but funny as hell. But nope, if you ain't got nothing else, I'm going to tell everybody now, thanks for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let us know what you think about the story. And if you've heard any more about it than we've been able to find out up to this point, let us know. We appreciate your feedback. Don't forget the notifications so you can see all the videos we post all the time. And we will see you next time. See ya.